What's today?
It's Sunday and the first taping of the Up and Down show
with Daniel
and Upendo.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
We actually have a talk show. We're going to do a podcast.
We've been talking about this for a while. In fact, a lot of people have always said, y'all should do a show.
That is true. People have always said that we have a good vibe with each other. We've known each other for about 15 years now.
Yeah.
I've been out here for 17 years, so it's been 15 years.
15 years, yeah. And remember when I first met you?
I do remember when you first met me.
And
You wanted me.
I did. I wanted him so bad. I was like, oh my God, who is this hot guy? And then they said, where can you work? And I was like, oh, damn.
Because I happen to work for an LGBT community center, and so you made the assumption that I was gay, and she was right.
Totally right. So let's just kind of talk about who we are. 30,000 foot as part of our introduction.
Okay.
For people who don't know, so I'm Upendo, and I have been living in Palm Beach County for probably most of my professional career. I would say since 23. I'm 28 now.
We've already said that we've known each other for 15 years.
Yeah.
So she's a liar too.
Wow.
All right.
But anyway,
yeah.
Been down here in Palm Beach County. I am recently divorced 4 years. And so I can't wait to start talking to you about dating, all the guys that I'm dating and not dating,
Yes.
Yeah.
Same here.
Completely. I have been with the organization I'm with for 10 years now. I think I'm in my 11th.
Has it been 10 years?
Yeah, it's been, 10 or 11 years. And live close to the beach. I'm pretty excited. Actually, the set is my downstairs area.
Okay.
And this is Shaka.
This is not a dating site, by the way. Although it sounds like you're kind of setting yourself up for a date.
Yes.
This is not how to date Upendo.
Yes.
Although I guess it could be.
It definitely could be. And what about you? Tell me about you.
Me? So I am also 28. Interesting.
And you've only known me for 15 years.
And I've known you for about 15 years. I have lived here in Florida for 17 years now, which I cannot believe. It's actually the longest residency that I have had in my adult life.
Yeah.
I used to be an actor out in Los Angeles and in New York and traveled around the country a lot with my career and moved here when I was 30. And I guess you could do the math now. And so I'm 47 years old and about to be 47, I should say. And I have been working in the field of social work ever since I've come out here.
Yeah.
I had been an actor, got involved in social work, and met you pretty early on in my decision to work in the helping field.
Yeah.
And so I've had almost 20-year career now as a helper, and I love it. And we happen to work for the same organization again. We used to work together back in the day.
Yes, we used to work back in the day, and it took a while for him to come work with me back in the day. I went after him because he's so brilliant, sometimes anyway.
Used to be.
And I do remember when I asked you to come work for me, you're like, no.
Yes, because I was feeling extremely loyal to the young gay boys and girls that I was working for at the organization I was at. So I was extremely loyal to them. I knew I was going to be their Mary Poppins for the rest of time. And I said no to you.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I hear you. And then another opportunity came along, and I was like, hey, Daniel, I have another job opening.
Yes, you did. And I said, okay.
Totally
and
okay.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's an episode. Specifically when you interview.
Yes.
That was the worst.
How not to interview for a job.
Oh yeah, that'd be how not to interview.
We'll have to come back to that one. So we're talking about the show, like why Up and Down. We actually went to a whole bunch of different names, right?
Yeah.
What were some of the names that we almost chose? Should we talk about that?
Yeah, we actually fell in love with the donut hole.
The donut hole, right?
Because we thought that was cute and catchy, and we thought that we're kind of in the donut hole. That the whole idea of us, not being rich enough, but also not poor enough that we find ourselves in this hole sometimes.
Right, and it really was because of just where we are right now. It is May 3rd, 2020. We are in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes.
And we have found ourselves to not be eligible for any of the government assistance programs.
None.
And we had a couple feelings about that. And so we were feeling a little bit like we wanted to talk about that. So this idea of the donut hole popped in until we did our research and realized the donut hole really refers to people on Medicaid. We're like, okay, maybe not us exactly. But this concept of sort of being at a certain place in our career, in our lives, where we feel like we've worked hard and we've kind of made it.
Yes.
And yet there's still so much more that we want, and also things that we can't do, right?
Right.
So so that was kind of a theme. So we started with the donut hole. Then we looked at the bagel hole.
The bagel hole.
The clearance rack. That was actually, that got really close.
That got really, the clearing rack.
Yeah, well, it started with the clearance rack, but then it went to
the clearing rack.
The clearing rack, exactly. Yeah. Because brother loves a clearing rack.
Yes, he does.
I am a cheap mother gun. Yes.
Completely. Then we looked at What You Say.
What You Say.
What You Say.
What You Say.
I know, right?
I Know Right was another one. I Know Right. Those were good. So What
right.
You Say and I Know Right.
And then I think we started. How did we get to this?
Well, I think we wanted to do a play on our names. The fabulous Upendo and the fabulous Daniel. And so we looked for a name that could maybe use our initials, and Up and Down came up, and we loved it because Up and Down was something that really spoke to the fluidity that we wanted the show to be able to have, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't that we didn't want anything structured. We didn't want to be formal. We wanted to be ourselves, but we wanted to be able to talk about serious topics sometimes, but also have a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we want the show to really reflect who we are as we live our life day to day, the things that we really enjoy. So we will be talking about like food.
Yes, absolutely.
We will be, because we love food. Like
yes,
Ursula.
Let's talk about the Ursula. By the way, which we would like for you to meet Ursula and Bluto.
Yes. We fight with them all the time. All the time.
Another episode. Yes, we can have an absolute introduction to Ursula and Bluto.
And Bluto. So then
food's gonna be a big topic for sure.
Travel, which is right now, oh my God, no one's traveling. And you actually have a really great story as it relates to the pandemic, because you actually was in France.
Yes. Yeah. I was in France while all of this was unfolding. I think I flew out to Europe on March 3rd. And it's supposed to come back on the 18th or 19th, and ended up coming back early because I was having a hell of a time in France skiing. Still got the knee injury to show for it.
But that mountain.
But I was posting things on Facebook, and I've had people tell me since then that they were laughing because they realized that I was in a bubble, that I had no idea what was going on.
Not one idea.
Yes, and so I came home from France after being out with some wonderful friends out in that area, and came home, called my job. They said, "We're so happy you came home early, so happy you're home safe. Now don't show up to work tomorrow."
For 14 days.
For 14 days.
Completely. Like, it's like, wait a minute, I came home early. I can't. No, you need to protect yourself and make sure that you're taken care of before you rejoin us in the world. Yeah.
So I have been quarantined since the 13th of March. I have been in my home, isolating. Actually, just got tested for the antibodies, which was pretty cool. I was out working with a wonderful colleague, Armin, who does Dr. Armin Henderson. I was trying not to do full names, but Dr. Armin Henderson. Look him up. It's all right. I mean, this man is amazing, and he uses his free time to serve the homeless in Miami. So he's been doing COVID testing for.
So the antibodies.
The antibodies. So I got tested for the antibodies, and I came back negative, which means I never had coronavirus ever.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can touch on you, I can love on you, assuming that you also. Oh, wow.
I know, right? Well, that's another thing.
You look beautiful too.
Thank you. Thank you. So, food, travel, culture. What does that mean?
What is culture? Culture,
what does it mean?
I think, can mean anything. For me, culture, the first thing I think about is my love is theater, right? So I am a trained theater. I went to college and studied theater, and at Yale. Let's just go ahead and say it.
Oh my
I
God.
went to Yale.
He had to throw the Yale out. I went to Florida State, which is the best. The best school ever. The best school ever.
The best school ever is Yale. What?
Yeah, no, it's Florida State University. Yes, we rock it out.
So culture for me is just the arts.
The
right?
arts.
When I think of the arts of theater and television and books and paintings and
Anything to improve how we live, to make it a better world. That's the way I think of culture. Things that basically make us happy, that improves how we live, how we see the world, through the lens of a photographer,
Right.
through the lens of a filmmaker, through the lens of, a fashion. I love fashion. I was
going to say this is culture right here.
Yeah.
This is culture.
Yeah, my hair.
Oh, yes.
Which we will talk about hair too. You will see.
We are going to talk, and I have no one to talk about.
We're going to
hair.
talk about hair.
This is coronavirus realness right now.
Yeah, and I normally would have like braids in my hair, but I washed my hair on Friday night, and Daniel showed up yesterday, and I had my natural hair out, which I thought I looked good, and he walked in, he didn't say a word.
How you been?
He didn't say a word. I don't like, you're not going to say anything about my hair. He's like,
I'm all about the natural fro. I mean, I'm going natural myself right now. This is much longer than I traditionally wear my hair.
It's getting curly.
It
That's
is,
how
but I like it though, right?
Yeah, I like you curly.
I think at a certain time of age, like I'm about to be 47 years old, and I think a lot of men don't even have their hair at 47. So thank you very much, Grandpa Woosley.
Yes.
So I am letting my hair grow out, and I think that
I like it curly. It shows your ethnicity.
my own culture.
Yes.
We can talk about that at another time as well. We have to start writing these things down. There's so many things that we could talk about, right?
Yeah, it's totally. And then we have two more things that we put on our idea of the show is also social justice.
Social justice.
Both Daniel and I are social workers, MSW to be exact.
Yes.
I learned that I really sucked at being a social worker, so that's why.
That's not true. You're an amazing social worker. We both are amazing social workers. We suck at being therapists.
Yeah, that's true.
We suck at the clinical part of social work.
Yeah, that is so true.
I don't have patience for it.
I definitely don't have patience for it. So, but social justice is very dear to our hearts because we recognize that in most instances when people are challenged, it's because of some type of system that keeps them from achieving. And how do we create opportunity for all? So, social justice is really dear to us. And we work for an organization, I think, that supports that belief about social justice.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's something that for the past 15 years, from the get-go, I worked for a gay and lesbian community center that is pretty well known here in Palm Beach County. And so I cut my teeth on an issue that was true to my own personal identity, and then it sort of translated into working for the homeless and working for men coming out of prison, something that I'm very, very passionate about. So we'll talk a lot about that through our time together.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the seriousness of the show is around social justice and how we see it in the world that we live in. And then any damn thing else.
Any damn thing else, because we realize sometimes we don't want to talk about those other things and we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, there's some beautiful flowers over here. I don't know if they're in the shot, probably not in the shot. But if they were in the shot, you'd see that they're beautiful lilies, right? Yeah. Calla lilies?
No.
Not calla lilies.
Just regular lilies.
And I was telling a story of how Patti LaBelle taught me during one of her concerts how to take off the pollen off of the stem, off the lily, so it doesn't stain your clothes. And I just taught that to Upendo today.
Yeah, and now I'm not going to be afraid to buy lilies. I love lilies. I buy them all the time, but I stopped because it was staining everything when they would fall. I was like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Where did this come from? Like, oh, the lily. But now, you taught me something today.
There you go. So that's what our show is, right?
Yeah.
So it is, sometimes it's serious, sometimes, hopefully it's always fun.
We think we're fun.
Yeah, right? At least we think we're fun. And hopefully it can be educational, but really it's just a way for us to help you guys get to know us a little bit more.
And we do anticipate that we may have a guest every now and then.
Do we really want to share the camera time with them?
I know, right? But no. Seriously, we think that maybe we'll bring in a guest time or two,
Yes.
just to kind of liven up the spot.
Without question.
Yes.
And if you are out there and you actually want to be on the show, give us a holler. If you know how to get in touch with us, give us a holler. If you don't,
Grinder.
And it begins. Here we go. I do not have a Grinder account.
I'm kidding.
Oh my
Hustler.
All right, be careful now.
I'm done. I'm done.
All right, so let's talk about current events right now.
Okay.
And we kind of referenced it already, but what's going on in the world today, right now?
It's called the pandemic, coronavirus, COVID-19.
COVID-19, yes.
And it's not the 19 version of coronavirus, as someone in the world said a couple of weeks ago.
Someone actually thought it was the 19th time.
They actually was promoting the fallacy that we will get through this because we've already had it 18 times and this is the 19 version of it.
Shut the front door.
No, seriously.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, and the person, I won't speak the person's name.
Oh, you know the person.
I don't know the person. The person is someone on TV that was promoting that foolishness.
Okay.
And I was like, people listen to this foolishness. So COVID-19 is not the 19 version.
No, it's not. It was, I believe, because it started in 2019.
Yes.
Which means before, not even long before, but it started before we actually heard about it. Think about it. In March, just almost 2 months ago, I got on a plane intentionally and flew into ground zero of a pandemic. Basically, France had been hit pretty hard at that point, and I didn't take it seriously. I knew about it, and I was like, hey, what is this thing? I'm going to be in the mountains. So since then, we've learned that this is no joke.
This is no joke, and it has impacted our lives, our friends' lives, our families' lives, and this is serious. I mean, when you think about it, we don't know what the world is going to look like 4 or 5 months from now, whether or not we're going to be coming out of this and we're getting back to normal, or are we going to be more deeper into it because of the rules people are not following, not abiding by the 6 feet,
Right. Who are these people, by the way? These people that I understand that everybody wants to get the economy back going and people want to get out and express. I mean, listen, I'm in your house right now, right?
Yes.
And 2 weeks ago, I would not have been here.
Right.
I mean, I did just get tested. We know that we both have been quarantining pretty responsibly.
Yes.
And so we talked about it and we decided that we felt that this was okay.
Yes, to do this.
And we also don't have any people in our home lives that we would be putting at risk because of us being together. So it was a choice. But that's you and I, we were able to negotiate that. Who are these people that go to the grocery store, like you're talking about, who they have the single file, go one direction, and they don't feel the need to follow that? Who are these people?
Yeah, they just don't want to follow the rules. Or you see the signs on the floor about the distance. Okay, this is over here and you over here. They just don't abide by it. They come right up on you. Like yesterday, I was in the store. Was it yesterday? I was in the store yesterday at the hair store, and this woman just got right on top of me. And I'm thinking, like,
is this your hair, by the way?
It is. I bought it.
I actually thought it was your hair. Had you not said anything, I would have believed that it was your hair.
My hair was like this yesterday. You didn't like it.
Your hair did not look like that. And don't make people think that I don't appreciate natural hair.
You don't.
I love natural hair.
Okay.
I just like natural because that's the Daniel. Okay. That's the up and the down. Right?
Okay. But seriously, this woman was right up on me. I'm looking at her like, excuse me, and I moved away, and she's giving me a look like I'm wrong.
Right.
Like these people that just won't abide by the rules.
Yes. And again, who are not taking into account how they impact other people's lives, right? It's one thing for two friends to negotiate spending some time together and understanding how that may or may not impact ourselves. And, I'm going home and I'm being quarantined after this. Yeah, so it's an interesting time with the actual rule followers. Thank God, I do feel extremely blessed, and I really mean that. That we both have jobs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We cannot stress, how we're blessed, knowing what's going on in the world, specifically people who have lost their jobs because of this pandemic.
Yeah. And I mean, and I'll just say, we have a colleague who actually lost her position within our own organization because of this pandemic.
Yes.
And we love her, and we are thinking about her, and we will be there to. I'm actually getting sad talking about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is sad. It is sad because it's someone we love and who's part of our work family.
Mm-hmm.
So the impact is real for us. But again, being grateful that we still have jobs, and again, it may change in 3 months. We don't know. That's all part of this conversation is we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But in the meantime, what can we do to take care of ourselves? What can we do to ensure that, we're living the best life we can, being quarantined and all? What does self-care look like?
Right.
Self-care for me lately has just really trying to get out and be physical because I was going to the gym.
Whew, Lord, yes.
The gym closed, and that was probably the most saddest day for me from the pandemic.
Can we talk about how long you kept going to the gym? There were many folk, myself mostly, who were pretty upset with you because I was home, I was being quarantined. We were seeing that this was becoming a serious epidemic that we needed to pay attention to. And Miss Thang was up on her social media every morning posting, I'm getting my workout in. I was like, sister, you don't have to do this right now.
Yeah, it was a sad day for me in the pandemic world when the gym closed. I actually called Eileen and I said, I'm so sad right now.
Our boss, Eileen is our boss.
I called and I was like, I'm so sad right now. And you know what she told me to do?
What?
Breathe.
That is something that you will hear from us often is
just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. But yeah, I was sad because I was like, what am I going to do to get physical? I had finally got into a groove.
Yeah.
That's another thing with the pandemic. It stops you from doing your normal thing. And you got to find a different way to go about your life. And so my self-care is getting out every morning and really getting at least 5 miles in now. Yeah.
I've been doing 5 miles too. I to be honest, I have put on some pounds even pre-COVID. We got the pre-COVID weight, and then we got the current COVID weight. So I finally realized I do need to get off my butt and be a little more physically active. And you have motivated me. Bluto has motivated me as well. So I've been doing at least 4 to 5 mile walks, usually about 5 mile walks, or my bike. I'm loving my bike. I'm loving my bike. I've been doing 13-mile bike rides.
So you motivated me because I'm now looking at getting a bike. Because I'm thinking I should go get me a bike now. So I have the time. What else can I be doing? Just trying to stay physical, but yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate you talking about sort of getting out and taking care, and this is part of self-care, because for the longest time, I was really down on friends who were stepping outside because I thought it was setting a bad precedent for people because there are folk who didn't have the ability to be outside and maybe it would encourage them to be outside. And so I really, for a good month or so, didn't step outside. I mean, I didn't. I was afraid to do it. I wanted to be socially responsible and I was feeling really crappy. And I finally walked outside one day and walked around the block and I felt so much better.
Well, it's called vitamin D too. You are a person of color. You definitely need vitamin D.
I love me some vitamin D. Yes. Anywho, so taking care of ourselves physically, mentally is important. Can we talk about the hair? We talked about the hair, a little bit about you, but
yeah, on top of the hair. So my issue is so even before the pandemic, the girl who normally braids my hair, and I've been braiding my hair for probably the last 4 or 5 years. You always see my hair braided or some type of style that you don't see my hair.
Right.
She decided to move to Atlanta.
I remember you telling me that. That was a very sad day.
I know. It's what do you mean you going to Atlanta? You need to stay here and continue to do my hair. She said, I'll come back every other month and, So she is coming to my house tomorrow morning.
Stop. Oh, you didn't tell me that. Oh, good Lord. Thank God we're doing this today. I'm going to need you to quarantine yourself for 15 days after she does your hair.
No. She's gotten tested and everything. She's following the whole skills and all of that.
No, we really are at a time where I think we have to open up our economy. And I'm not trying to sound like that certain party. I don't want to get too political. Why can't we get political? I'm not trying to sound Republican, right? I do believe our economy needs to open up. And I do believe people like our hairstylists need to, or my barber.
As long as they follow the protocol that goes with them being able to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Democrats want the economy to start working.
Yes,
it's not just Republican. I just want to put that out there. I think there are a great number of people in America who just wants to get back to work. They just want to go back to our normal life.
Yeah, normalcy. Without question.
Yeah.
Without question. In fact, my barber has said that he'll cut my hair as well. He said that actually just last night I was texting him saying that because
clearly somebody was drinking. So last night when you were texting your barber, somebody was a little toasted, just a little toasted.
A little bit.
And apparently you showed your barber a picture of me.
Really? We're going there? I did not show the barber a picture of you. I gave the barber your Instagram account.
Oh, and he saw the picture.
No, because your Instagram account is private.
Oh, bingo.
Bingo.
This happens when you're drunk. It stops. You have to always put those barriers in place for when drunk times happen, like those protocols.
Yes, yeah. It's important to have friends that are able to.
Well, you are not a friend. You are not a friend. Don't you dare. Anyway.
That's what friends are for.
No.
For posting examples of you drinking way much more than you should. Anywho. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Have you learned any new skills in the pandemic?
Well, yes, I have. I am actually learning Spanish. I am learning Spanish.
Okay, say this in Spanish.
Say esto. This. Esto.
Esto.
Esto, yes. Esto es un iPad.
You're learning on the iPad?
No. I'm learning with a friend. I actually have a friend in Spain, España. And we have been communicating via WhatsApp and Instagram. He is a wonderful cook in Spain, and so I've never seen him post some recipes, and I asked him if he could share the recipes. And so I've been really not only learning Spanish through this friendship that's unfolding, but also learning how to cook. And so
But you already knew how to cook, Daniel.
Well, I knew how to. I had a certain lane that I enjoyed.
You can literally go in the kitchen. Like that's why I appreciate you so much.
Okay.
Because literally you would go into my kitchen. You know, I used to never have food in my refrigerator.
I was surprised that you actually had something in your refrigerator.
I know.
I was really shocked by that. Yeah.
Because I can't eat out. I can't do my normal thing. But you could go into my refrigerator or even your refrigerator and be like, you know what? I'm just going to create something.
Yes.
And it'd be amazing whatever you create. So you knew how to cook before. I think what you're learning, this is me just thinking about, you're saying you learn how to cook. I think you're learning how to follow recipes now.
No. I think that I had a certain wheelhouse, and I followed recipes, but I got real comfortable in what I call the Mediterranean way of cooking, which is, you throw in some bell peppers and onions and garlic, and then you look in the refrigerator to see what else you got, but you kind of have that base. And that was my comfort zone. And so I did a lot of sauces, and then would throw either some chicken or some pork in that. And I felt real comfortable with that. And then breakfast became sort of a staple for me. And so my omelets are on point. I got a good omelet game.
He does.
I got a really good omelet game. And so I was just in my comfort zone. So now it's not recipes, but it's actually going outside of that comfort zone. And so this one person that I was referring to gave me I don't cook seafood at all, but he gave me a white fish recipe with potatoes and garlic, and I was and like paprika, and like I never used paprika except for on deviled eggs, right? Deviled eggs, that's all I knew, paprika.
Well, I used paprika on the shrimp last night.
Oh, you did?
Smoked paprika.
Ooh, that shrimp was amazing.
I know, it was.
What did you say? I put my foot in there.
I put my foot in my toes and twisted it up.
Shrimp and grits, which I had never even heard of. before you. Do you know you introduced me to shrimp and grits?
I introduced you to a lot of stuff, Daniel.
Well, yes, you did. I'll just go ahead and stop there. Yes, you have.
Yes,
you have. So cooking, and then the place that I've really been experimenting is in baking.
Oh, okay. So true story. Daniel made some muffins.
They are beautiful. Literally, they could be on Martha Stewart's magazine. They're beautiful.
They're beautiful. Okay, like my hair yesterday.
That's all you got?
So this morning I get up, I come downstairs, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have one of his muffins. And I took a big old hump.
It was a big bite. That was a big bite.
And I almost died. By way of muffin. By way of muffin.
By way of muffin.
Yeah. I was like, why is it so thick?
They are a little thick. They are
dense.
Grueso is the Spanish word for thick.
Yeah. But he did make an apple tart, which was excellent.
I was really surprised by that because I don't like cooked fruit. That's been like my go-to comments. Like, I don't do cooked fruit. But I made the apple tart.
It was excellent.
It was delicious, right?
Mm-hmm. It was.
So baking has been one of the new skills. What about you? What are some new skills?
Well, I kind of did a little hardware last week. Well, I had my neighbor do a little hardware. But I did security. I'm trying to do security for my house, Tried to install a digital door, or what do you call those doors that, whatever.
A door for lazy people.
Whatever the door. So I think no new skills for me.
Oh, that's not true.
No.
Well, you've been cooking and maybe you had the skills, but you just haven't been showing them.
No, I could cook. I don't like to cook, but now I'm learning how to cook. I think after this whole pandemic, I'm probably going to eat more at home than out.
I've been doing that already.
Yeah. It's just, I just find myself now enjoying cooking. Now that I'm forced to cook. Yeah.
Gotta cook something.
I know. So, but yeah, I don't know if I have a new skill.
So, one thing we didn't talk about, but I am painfully transparent, right? Is that with our job, we are temporarily, we've lost some income because of our job. So what do you say? You're what? You wanted the t-shirt that said, I'm 80%.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did. Yeah. That was one of the many things you said last night.
I'm 80%.
Yeah, I'm 80%. And there was actually another word after that with a B.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so.
Wow, that was a crazy night, huh?
Yeah, we had fun. We have temporarily had some income loss in our own lives, which is making us sort of reconsider how we are going to get by financially, looking at some of the bills that we maybe could hold off on, and obviously having to look at our budget.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, true.
But then I go to the grocery store the other day because I'm making a wonderful lemon and chicken soup, almost like a tom kha gai soup. And I see these beautiful mushrooms, these beautiful $8 mushrooms. And I'm like, do I need these mushrooms? Yeah. And so it's, talking about the up and the down, talking about the donut hole, talking about the new skills that we need to learn ourselves of, what's a priority, what's not a priority.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
The discipline connected to staying on budget.
Yeah, I that is definitely a skill I need to learn during this time. You're right. That is something I need to learn because like you went to the store, I went to Total Wine earlier this week. And I went there for one thing.
What's that?
That was to get absinthe. Because I didn't have absinthe.
Okay. What did you leave with?
$230 later.
Shut the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I bought rosé. I bought the rosé I needed. I was like, I don't have any whispering angels. So the issue is not so much. It's all about working in a budget. So that's a new skill.
Yeah.
I wanted whispering angel. Now I will tell you though, whispering angel normally costs $23, $24. But at Total Wine, it's 17, so I did save some money.
But I don't think that's the way budgeting goes. Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean you're saving money.
But
I think budgeting is actually living within your budget.
Right.
So actually not getting the Whispering Angels.
That was my point. It's like there was other rosés that was like a $5 rosé. I could have went. I'm like, I'm not sure what that tastes like. Even though in Total Wine they show you the person's face.
Budgeting would be not getting a rosé. Period. That's budgeting that we have to learn. And that's the hard part. My budgeting would have been, I didn't need the damn mushrooms. I had so many things in the soup. I didn't need the mushrooms. That's the little bouginess about us, right?
Oh, about you.
About me.
Yeah, that's a bouginess of you.
Oh, really? That's my bougie. So are you bougie? Do you consider yourself bougie?
Mm-mm.
You don't know. This is real talk. We are actually. This is what she does. She mimics me and talks on top of me when she's trying to avoid something. So we said this is going to be putting things on Front Street. We're going to be very honest. You don't consider yourself bougie.
Bougie is such a negative word.
Is it?
Yeah, I think what I would call myself is almost made.
That was almost one of our names. Actually, I forgot about that one. Almost made.
Yeah.
Kind of made. We made. Yeah. We worked hard.
Yeah, we kind of did.
And we were going with made-ish as well, like blackish. That was actually funny, but almost made.
Almost made.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think we are both almost made.
So I would say this week, if we had to talk about a down this week, my down was not having a budget before I went to the store.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a very interesting test for both of us.
Yeah, it's to actually have a budget of what we want to spend.
Yeah.
And don't overdo it. Just no matter how our previous behaviors or our wants and desires are. Yes. Like for me and my mom, like, I'm never going to Total Wine again. I left there $230 later. And yeah, I got, the wines, all the wines and the stuff I needed to drink. And I'm like, oh, I'm here anyway.
Yeah.
But I didn't need it.
You did not need it. But you got it and you enjoyed it. And I'm going to enjoy it later. Possibly. So the food and the what we talked about, got our little cheat sheet here.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about just connecting with old friends was something that we've also done throughout this, which has been really, really exciting for me.
Yeah.
But for you, have you been connecting with people?
I've been connecting with definitely friends, but what's been important to me is that I'm now communicating more with my family. Like I wasn't communicating quite often with them. Like I talk to my mom now at least 2-3 times a week now.
How often do you normally talk to your mom?
Like whenever she would pick up the phone previously. Like once every 2 weeks. Like seriously, you know how I would complain about my mom. Yeah. I wouldn't talk to her because she just wouldn't pick up.
So this was not really your issue; it's her issue.
No, it just was what it was.
Okay.
But I have communicated more with my immediate family during this time, and I like it. I'm like, I actually like y'all. I didn't think I liked y'all. I actually like y'all,
Yes, I
understand that.
I do understand. That's something that we connect with. I love my family. I have, just because of my own personal travels and life experiences with education and all, I haven't lived around my family for decades.
Me neither.
For decades.
Me neither.
And so I have lost touch, but I actually did something that I strangely never done, was actually sent a group text to all of my family members. I've done it with friends and all, but I actually, one day I woke up and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to just call grandma. I'm not just going to call mom. I'm going to actually send to all of my brothers and sisters and my grandmother and my mom and her husband. And I just did hey, how you guys doing? Do you know nobody responded?
They love you.
Oh my God. That's not true. My brother did, who lives here in Florida now, and he responded, and we were giggling about it. But no, we had to threaten people to respond in this text, and then Grandma finally got involved.
Oh, I do want to meet her.
You are going to meet. She is so sweet. When I talked about somebody losing their job at our organization, she was so concerned that it was you.
Really?
She says, "It's not Miss Upendo, is it?" It's not Miss Upendo. I said, no, it's not Miss Upendo, but it is one of my dear sweet sisters. Anyhow, so yeah, connecting with family's been, but I've also connected with friends. I had my 25th college reunion was canceled. It was supposed to be this month.
Were you going to it?
Of course I was going to go to. It was the 25th anniversary.
Texas,
We were all, well, do you not go to your college? You don't go to your college? Have you ever been to a college reunion?
I don't even like the.
So you want to keep saying yours is the best school?
It is
the best school that I don't ever want to go visit ever again.
No, I go visit when I go home, but I don't. No.
I love going back to Yale. It's wonderful. So I reconnected with some college friends who I haven't seen in ages, and we have been regularly talking now in a group text. We've done a couple Zoom meetings, and then I was so touched because one of the things that makes me so sad is I've lost complete touch with all of my high school friends, and a small group of high school friends texted and asked me if I wanted to join them for a Zoom. And so there were 6 of us, I think.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I'm getting emotional because that was such a pivotal time in my life, the school I went to in California. And I was able to reconnect with them.
Good.
And it was awesome.
Good.
It was really, really awesome. So I think that's been one of the wonderful things that have come out of this.
Is that it's really, I would hope that, like it has for you and me, it just help us reconnect with people and connect more with the people that we love. So yeah, I love that. I'm talking more with my mom and my brother. We were on FaceTime yesterday, me and my brother, laughing at my mom.
Really?
And I was like, okay. And I was like, wow, this is so weird, you know?
It's a beautiful thing, though. Do you think you'll keep it up after this is done?
I want to keep it up.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I want to keep it up. So
it's something that I've never understood about families, and you and I understand this, is people that talk to their family every day. I don't understand that.
I understand that. When I first moved here to Palm Beach County, way many years ago, it was 1995, spring 1995. I moved here. One of the reasons I moved to Palm Beach County is to get away from my mom.
Oh.
Because we were so enmeshed.
Really?
We were best of friends.
Wow.
So
but it was like intentional? It was like, I got to get away from her?
Yeah, like, because she's driving me crazy.
Oh.
It's like one of those things that, we're so enmeshed. And so I can see that because we used to talk all the time. But it was needed because I think part of my enmeshment with her was not helping me to grow. So you kind of recognize that, and there were other issues too that I was having, but that one of them was to get untethered from her.
Yeah, which I think ties us to make this all sort of full circle with sort of this show and why we're doing this show is something that you and I have in common. That in order for us to reach the successes that we've had in life, part of that was sacrifices that we've had to make, and sometimes it was even with relationships, family, friends, and all. It doesn't make it an easy thing to always accept.
Yeah.
But what's cool is being in our mid-40s now. Oops, I said our ages.
No, you said your age. I'm 28. I'm sticking with that. I'm totally sticking with 28.
All right. So being in our late 20s, it's really starting to understand the value of family.
Yeah.
And that's been, for me personally, in the last, I'd say 3 or 4 years, I've really been actively engaging.
But it's about understanding the value of family. But I think too, what I've also recognized at my age is that I get to choose my family now too. I get to choose you. I get to choose other people who I want in my life to be my family, because you are my family.
Yes, you are my family.
You are my family.
You are my family.
We have vacation together. We have cried together. Yes. What you say? But no, you get to choose your family. That's part of being an adult. You get to choose your family, the family you desire, and who you want to love you, and you want to love them. So, all good stuff.
Upendo, this is fun. To be honest, I didn't think we would have enough to talk about, but I don't think that's going to be an issue with us.
I don't think so. Yeah, this is our first show, and we hope to have many more. So it was fun, right?
It was fun for me. Was it fun for you?
It was fun.
I don't know if anybody's going to really want to watch it, but we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. And really, it's not about it. I mean, it is about you all also.
Wow.
but I mean, really,
I love y'all. I love you.
But really, this was, for me personally, I've been wanting to just use that creative energy that we both have. And so I thought this was a cool idea. So I really had a wonderful time doing this.
I had a wonderful time doing this. And I look forward to more shows with Daniel because it's the up and down.
With Daniel and Upendo.
Okay, what's your up? You didn't give me your up.
Oh, my up. I think this show actually is my up. I mean, that's corny, but the fact that I am talking with my bestie, and you are my bestie.
Yes.
Now she has 20,000 besties.
I do.
But you are my bestie.
I have tons. You're my best friend right now today, right in this moment. But also too, so today is your up. It's the show.
Is the show. Yeah, what's your up?
I put on makeup for the first time in like forever. That's the one thing we didn't talk about that in the pandemic. Like I have not worn makeup and my face broke out so bad
From not putting on makeup.
Not putting on makeup.
Your skin is so used to having makeup. That's interesting.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then,
and actually, I took a shower 2 days in a row now.
I know, right?
So that's my up. How about it down? What about it down?
Down. I told you to down. Overspending, but you know.
Okay. So I guess that's it for now. We want to thank you all for tuning in or tuning on or whatever people say in the social media world. And I want to thank you for being my bestie and just being as fabulous as you are.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.